I don't know if you've noticed, but people are a little apprehensive about the offensive line, and I wonder if your feeling from when you first got here to now, how much that has changed, if it's changed, because I assume you were probably somewhat apprehensive as well.
Well, you know, I've said it many times. There tends to be a focus on a unit on every team, and a strength here or a weakness here, and a lot of that's perception at times too. You know, when you talk about a quarterback position, for example, if a quarterback's not being protected, a lot of times it doesn't look like he's playing very well. Well, at the end of the day, it really doesn't fall on the quarterback. When you look at an offensive line group, there's a lot of things that play into it. And a lot of it has to do with the backs in the running game, making sure they're hitting the right hole. It has to do with the quarterback getting us into the right place so we get good angles for blocking schemes. It has to do with receivers winning at the line of scrimmage and press coverage so that the quarterback can get the ball out on time so we're not holding the ball. So there's a lot of factors that play into each and every group, and that's why it is a team game. And so every unit we have takes pride in how they play, and we all demand that each unit does their job, and I wouldn't expect anything less.
Doug, we saw that Derek Green is at the top of the running back depth chart. What did he do in the last week or two to put himself there, separate?
I think it's been the overall body of work through camp, you know, and everything we tried to do, as we told the players, was going to be evidence-based decisions by what you put on film and what you do on a day-to-day basis. And Derek continually progressed, and he continues to progress. He, like I said before, as an offense, and even at that position, we're nowhere near where we need to be or where we want to be. But as far as when you look at the process of getting better each and every day and how you approach the day, and he's just continued to improve each and every day. Talked a lot about his weight as he came into camp, and that's been one of the biggest things. He looks like a different back.
What are your thoughts about the wide receiver? It seems like that's a position group of strength, or a lot of depth there. Is there any particular guy that kind of stood out to you, or I guess just your thoughts on the receivers that you have now in your first year?
Well, obviously Funch, you know, his production speaks for itself. Very, very talented player. And, like we talked about, you want to create depth and competition in every position, and we feel like we've got a good talent base there. Lots of different guys that can do different things, and then the goal will be to ultimately keep guys fresh and put guys in the right position where they can make plays.
With Derek, the idea that he was in the competition for running back, do you feel like he has actually emerged from camp feeling like the number one back as opposed to just being named it, if that makes sense?
I think when you talk about being the starter, I think there's a mindset and an approach that has to occur when you start talking about being a starter. And Derek, obviously, as any young player, there's a bigger learning curve and the maturation process that goes on for young players on a day-to-day basis, and the way you watch them evolve. That's one of the great things about coaching, is watching that and watching players come in and learn and grow and achieve. And I think Derek is starting to learn what it takes to be a really, really good player. He still has a long way to go. And that group itself, there's great competition, so it forces those guys each and every day. And we're going to play multiple guys, but Derek, at this point in time, has established himself as the guy who deserves to start this game.
How do you foresee the distribution in these early games amongst those three?
Well, we'll play, like I said, a couple guys, and a lot of it will be on the flow of the game, the feel of the game, and like I've said before, each guy does different things better than others, so there may be specific plays that we use specific players on, but Derek's going to start the game.
Doug, you have a freshman starting at left tackle. At what point did you think he was capable of handling something like this?
He's a special kid, and when you look at what we've asked of him from day one, and really with no expectation, we put him out left tackle during the spring and just watched as he grew day to day, and you always wonder, is it going to be too much? And I think mental makeup is the biggest thing that separates Mason right now. He's so mature beyond his years. His approach every day, he's steady as a rock, and what he's achieved really I don't think has been a surprise to anybody within our building.